What's going on, guys? This is the Pound for Pound Combat Sports Podcast. We're back with another video. We got the UFC 308 Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway right here. We
Mm-hmm.
got this pulled up, and we're just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna try to go through as many fights as we can, as long as we know kind of who's fighting. There is some fights that I'm not too familiar with, so we'll kind of skip over those. But I'm joined by Mondo as always.
What's
Um,
up, guys?
So yeah, let's get into it. This first fight, I know Fakhretdinov is a beast. Um, I'm not sure about the guy he's fighting, but I know Fakhretdinov's got like crazy power. Um, although he did run into a pretty close fight against Nick Dalby, which was surprising. So interesting to see how he bounces back. Um, again, I know Bruno Silva, but I'm not sure about this Ismail guy. I've heard of him, but no odds here, so I'm curious to see how that goes.
From
Basharat.
Morocco.
Oh yeah, Morocco. That's interesting. I don't see too many Moroccans in the UFC. Looks like he's got a couple fights. I've heard of his name, but I've never seen him fight before. Oh, he fought Brady. I see. All right. Farid Basharat. I know his brother. I'm not too familiar with him. I think his brother's in the UFC. That name sounds familiar. So, let's see. Let's keep going. All right. This is interesting. We got Kennedy. I don't know how to say his last name. Versus Chris Barnett. Have you seen Chris Barnett fight before?
Yeah, I've seen him fight before.
he's a he's a fun guy to watch fight for sure. Um, although he
Yeah, I see
hasn't,
his but
I was gonna say he hasn't fought in a minute, but yeah,
he's more famous for his post-fight dance routines, huh?
100%. Even like pre-fight, sometimes he'd be acting silly, but definitely those post-fight dances go hard. He does like crazy backflips and stuff, or like front flips. I saw him do like a somersault or some shit. I don't know how he does it. He's huge, heavyweight.
He's a fun fat kid in your group, huh?
Yeah, it's funny because he almost like misses weight too. He's like 5'9". He's like Daniel Cormier.
Oh shit. What is he? What weight class is he?
Heavyweight.
Heavyweight. Oh shit. It's
Yeah,
the cutoff 265, right?
yeah. Look at it. Yeah, and look at his weight.
Oh
267.
yeah. He's 5'9". He's about our height.
I know, right? I don't know how the hell he misses weight. But Kennedy, it looks like they got him listed at 205. Yeah, OSP was a light heavyweight, so I guess he's moving up in weight class. But
Are you familiar with Kennedy?
yeah, I know Kennedy. He's pretty good actually. Nothing crazy, but he's pretty good. It looks like he
So who do
lost
you
his
got
last
winning?
couple. Um, it's tough to say because I haven't seen Chris fight in a long time. Something about like I don't know if his opponents pull out or if he pulls out, but I think he's had like three or so fights that have been canceled over the past couple of years, so it's been pretty tough for him. But I'd say Chris might have the advantage because he's heavyweight. Kennedy's moving up, but I think if Kennedy can keep the distance, he should be able to get by maybe like a decision. But I think if Chris wants to win it and pushes the pace, I think he can win for sure. But again, I haven't seen Chris fight in so long, so I really don't know. It looks like Kennedy's a huge favorite, so I'm not entirely sure how this goes. Who do you got?
I'm not familiar with Kennedy, but shit, I know is Chris Barnett from Spain or what the fuck?
I guess so. I thought he was American, to be honest. He must have moved there, I guess. But I'm
Or
pretty
yeah, he must be
sure.
training there or some shit, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard him speak pretty good English. But I know he's been fighting like in other promotions. I think he fought overseas, so maybe he just doesn't live in the US anymore. or maybe I'm completely wrong.
Got you.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. Next fight, Magomedov versus Bruno Ferreira. Wow, that is interesting. This betting line. I would have thought Bruno would be the favorite.
Is he
See
pretty
here.
good? I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with that guy.
he's super good, dude. Like all all of his fights end in the first round.
I know Abu's got beat by Strickland, huh? A little bit back ago.
Yeah, that's right. He kind of just had an adrenaline dump or something because he went crazy for the first round and was pretty much one-sided first round, and then all of a sudden Sean just took him out right after. I think he just had no gas left. I think
Yeah, I remember
maybe
that.
I think a boost might be coming off a win. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy that the lines like that. I would imagine Bruno probably wins this fight. Look at this guy's record; it's pretty crazy. So he's got
12-1.
10, he's got 12 wins, 10 first round finishes. Every single fight he's won has been by finish. 9 knockouts, 3 subs,
Damn.
and all of his fights in the UFC have been in the first round. He lost one fight, but the other fight he's won. So that should be a good fight. I think Bruno probably. I'm guessing if it gets past the first round, it gets a little bit dicey. I think Abus might win. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I would take Bruno in this one. Let's see. Matus Rebecki versus Murterbek Orlbai. This guy is a savage.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Kazakhstan?
Yeah, everybody kind of clowns on him. I don't know if I even want to say it, but they say he looks like a caveman like me and just felt like which is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to hate on him, but it does kind of look like he's from.
I mean, if he's a savage, you have to have that savage look.
Yeah. He's won his first 2 fights. He beat it. I think his name's Elvis Brenner, who's pretty freaking good. So, um, yeah, he's had a pretty successful run so far. Only a couple fights in the UFC, it looks like. Although it seems like he has more than that, but maybe I'm wrong.
What, 13-1?
Yeah,
It's pretty
13 and
decent.
1. Yeah. Um, almost all
What?
finishes too.
Damn, he
11
must be
finishes.
exciting then, huh?
Yeah, he's super exciting. I like watching him fight. And then this Rebecki guy is pretty decent too. But he had a tough fight against Fajeda. I forgot his first name, Diego Fajeda. But that guy's a savage. So let's see.
Okay, had a little win streak going on there.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But I think against like really strong strikers, um, actually no, he's good against strikers. It was just this Fajeda guy was just a little bit better than him. So this line I think is pretty fair. I think Orobai can get it done though, probably by finish if he takes it to the ground, maybe he gets like a sub or something. He's pretty good on the ground. Kyrgyzstan. Let's see.
This one was pretty good. A couple of veterans going at
Yeah,
it.
yep. What do you think about RDA?
Yeah, RDA used to be a beast back in the day when he was a champ.
Yeah,
155 champ, right? Yeah, yeah, 155. He was like pretty much like during his time the probably the most well-rounded fighter in his weight class at that time.
100%. I mean, he.
And then he but
Yeah, I just got to say he's good everywhere. Like he was kind of I don't know. He's kind of like a I don't know how to put it, but just very well rounded. Like he could take it to the ground and stay on you like Colby Covington. He's got good striking. he can make it a grinding fight or he can make it a brawl. So he's pretty good
Yeah,
everywhere.
he's like
But
the
yeah,
definition to me. He's like the definition of like that. Not like there's like the old school UFC MMA fighters like Chuck Liddell and those type of boys, and then he was like and then there was like the GSPs, and Anderson Silva's, and then he was like the next wave of that type of style, where they were a little more complete, but they didn't excel as much in some areas. Kind of like right now, everybody's like super complete, but then each fighter kind of excels in one thing. I don't know if it makes sense to you.
yeah, it makes sense. He was kind of ahead of his time a little bit. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't like that one style. Like back then, you had kind of like that one style, but he kind of mixed it up pretty well.
Hmm.
But one thing with him is he's fought just death's row. Like I don't think he's ever had an easy fight. I'm looking at his record and it's just all killers, man.
Yeah.
Like literally just all savages. He's probably got one of the craziest records, not like win loss wise, but just fighter wise. Like I'm looking at his record and it's just insane. Like holy shit. I mean, it's just endless, dude. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah, he
But
has a
maybe
pretty deep.
go ahead.
But I was just gonna say he has a deep resume.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe that's why he was so well rounded because he's had to fight it. I mean, every style you can think of, he's seen it. I think he struggles against the guys that are super good in one discipline, though, like
Yeah, yeah,
Colby,
yeah. Because
Usman.
those are like the more modern guys that like they're good everywhere, but then they have that edge in that one area where they're just super way better than everybody else, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Khabib. I think it's
That
like the
old,
most. Go ahead.
but
I was gonna say I
you're
think
good.
it was just like the wrestling base that he struggles with.
Dude, do you remember that Eddie Alvarez fight? That was a pretty sick fight with him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, man, it's hard to remember a lot of these fights because like there's fights in here
It
like
brings
I
up,
for
yeah, that shit brings back memories.
yeah. Um, let's look at the other guy. Jeff
That
Neal
feels
is
pretty decent.
yeah. He's like one of those guys that's not like flashy or anything, but he's super. He's got the fundamentals down, and he reminds me of that heavyweight boxer that fought Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Just like super fundamentally good. Just throws his straight punches perfectly, but no flashy footwork, no flashy punches, just textbook striking. So it almost looks like he's not that good, but it's like he's so good at the basics that it just works against guys that maybe get tired or can't handle like that forward pressure that he puts on.
Yeah, what is his ranking?
I think it's at number 10, so he's still ranked pretty good. Let's see here
Yeah,
again.
dude,
Yeah,
he's like that gatekeeper for the next level. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And he's been up there as a contender, but he's kind of come up short every time. But then once he fights like a lower ranked guy, he usually does pretty well.
Yeah, he's got a good few wins here.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like up and down usually, but he beat Bilal or Muhammad,
Yeah.
yeah, Muhammad
Well, I think
Bilal.
that's Bilal's only loss. Oh no, Bilal has 3 losses. Never mind. Oh, Leon Edwards he lost to, I think. Or was that a DQ? That might have been DQ. Or no, that was technically a win for Leon. But yeah, I mean, who do you got winning this fight?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, I haven't watched RDES in a minute. or not RDS. That's Junior Dos
RDA.
Anjos. This guy, yeah, Rafael Dos Anjos. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a fat minute, so I
Yeah.
can't really make an educated guess.
Yeah, it's tough. He is getting a little bit older. Um, yeah, I think I would lean towards Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal, however you want to say that. Just purely because he's probably the younger, fresher fighter. Um, it is welterweight, so Jeff Neal is going to be a little bit bigger. Um, and
Oh, he
again,
moved up to welterweight.
yeah, yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah. So he's gonna be a bit smaller, and again, RDA kind of struggles with those guys that are really good at one thing, and that's Jeff Neal's bread and butter is the striking, just the super basic, but textbook striking. So I think that's gonna be the story of this fight. Probably RDA is gonna have to mix it up and go for takedowns and stuff like that, and make it like a Colby Covington type of fight. Otherwise, I think on the feet, Jeff probably just 1-2s him to death.
Yeah, it was
um,
kind of goofy too, but yeah, kind of like
yeah, kind of stuck in the mud. Like
yeah.
I don't know the.
I don't know
Oh
these
wait,
boys.
oh wait, this is Canoe. This is the guy that I found looked like Canoe.
Oh yeah,
I
shout
seen
out
him fight
Canoe.
once. Aslan, he's a beast, dude. He's a savage. I really like this guy. I don't know the other guy though, so but I'm taking this guy no
What's
matter
his
what.
style?
Really explosive striking, like flashy striking. He's got 13 knockouts, 13 wins, 13 knockouts.
Oh shit! You actually sent me like a video of him knocking somebody out, right?
Yeah,
Was that
yeah, that was
it?
a long time
Yeah, I
ago.
remember.
Oh wait, that wasn't even that
Yeah, I
long ago.
remember.
That was March, but
It was a couple weeks ago where you sent me the video.
oh wait, not this guy. That one might have been a different guy. This was in March technically, but I mean,
Oh shit!
I
Okay.
might have sent you it. I don't remember, but yeah, that guy's
'Cause you told
good.
me you told me he hit him with the canoe, and I was laughing.
Oh, that was the Buckley. That was the style.
Oh shit! You're right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When he knocked
Yeah,
out Wonder Boy.
yeah. I was just, but I did. I think send you this guy. I was like, this guy kind of reminds you of Canoe. I don't know why. He just did, but um. Ooh, we got Shara Bullet. This is an interesting fight. This is actually a very, very good matchup for both guys. Are you familiar with Shara Bullet? He's kind of newer.
Yeah, yeah. He has like a little Taekwondo esque little
Yeah,
style.
yeah,
Big kicker, missing an eye.
yeah. Super flashy. Um, I think he has trouble getting like sanctioned to fight in America because of that eye. He's like technically blind or something, like legally
Has
blind or
he
something.
ever fought here?
I don't think he has. I don't know if it's because of the eye or because of the visa, but I've heard he has trouble fighting in America, so he only fights overseas. This is at UAE,
Oh yeah.
Etihad Arena. But yeah, Armin Petrosian is a beast, so it should be a very, very competitive fight, and the lines suggest that as well. Um,
Really, well, I don't know much about this guy,
yeah,
Trojan.
this guy's kind of an under the radar type of fighter, but he's fought like big names like Rodriguez, Braulio, Duncan, Vieira. So it's gonna be, and he's won a few of those fights, but he's just fought really good opposition. So I don't blame him for losing some of these, and I think that's why this line's so close. Shara's had some tough fights in the past. He had one good, or he's fought some pretty good fighters too. But Olis Jacek, he probably should have got that one done. But Olis Jacek actually kind of gave him the work, even though he lost.
Yeah, that fight kind of turned me off a little on Bullet.
Yeah, that was kind of yeah. The one thing he's not good at is wrestling. Like I was thinking, like man, this guy could be so good if he had wrestling. Like even if he didn't use it to to win fights, all he needs to do is have a good base and threaten takedowns, just so that I guess it's kind of late now, like the cat's out of the bag. But if he had come into the UFC and pretended to be, like that Dagestani wrestler, just that Russian base, like if he just kind of just had that facade, he could have just been so good. You know what I mean? Like just threaten takedowns, act like he's good at wrestling, and then just go to striking. But kind of late for that now, so we'll have to see. I think Armin's pretty good all around, but I think Sharo will win most of the exchange on the feet. But if he gets taken down, he'll probably give up, a good portion of those rounds if he gets held down for a minute or two. So he'll have to put in, and that's been kind of the story of his fights. He has to put in like extra work to win back those minutes he gives up, and then he doesn't really get tired, but he gets a little bit sloppy when he gets
Yeah,
fatigued.
yeah, yeah. He slows down a little.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a banger. Lerone Murphy versus Dan Ige. Um, Dan Ige, right?
Yeah, he put up a good fight. His last fight against that Brazilian guy.
Yep,
Can't remember
yep.
his name.
Stepped in on like 4 hours notice, like some ridiculous stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like, um,
Dude, honestly, before that, I didn't even know who Danny Gay was, to be honest.
yeah, he's kind of another. He's not like a top contender, but he's been on the edge there. What is he ranked? Yeah, 14. So he's been kind of floating around at the bottom of the ranking. But low key, Dan the Savage, bro. I mean, he comes up short on those fights that he needs to win, like Bryce Mitchell, um, Evloev, Evloev, whatever. Emmett, like he just comes up short on decisions, which is obviously not good if he wants to advance in the rankings. But he's super pure on the feet, like really crisp, and he doesn't ever give up either. He just doesn't win those rounds that he needs to win to get the decision, which is why I think he's technically the underdog. And Lerone
I
Murphy's
hope
pretty
this
good.
guy is good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he all wins in the UFC. Um, Kind of reminds me
What's
of
his
like a,
style?
I think striker, but he kind of reminds me of Leon Edwards. He's a striker, but he's got pretty decent wrestling. Pretty good all around, but mostly a striker, I think. Yeah, but he mixes in the wrestling as well. Um, I'm gonna guess Lerone probably tries to go for takedowns and makes it kind of a more balanced MMA fight. And I think Danny is really gonna have to keep it on the feet and take advantage of those opportunities and really try to hurt him. Otherwise, I think we're gonna see the same thing that happens to Danny Gay. He gets that chance to advance in the ranking, but comes up short on a decision, fortunately. But I like Dan 50K Ige. His nickname is 50K because he always gets that 50K bonus.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah. Um. Okay,
Some
so
big boys.
Magomed Ankalaev, dark horse. They call him the dark, or I call him the dark horse. He's kind of like that guy that should be fighting for the title, but it's kind of for whatever reason he just hasn't got the opportunity. But I think it's also partially his fault because he doesn't take those fights that he should be taking. He kind of just takes maybe like one or two fights here and there, but when the opportunity comes up, he doesn't take it. But he's fighting Alexander Rakic, who's a beast, absolute savage on the feet. We saw that in his last fight against who was it again? Another good striker. Yeah, Yuri Brahashka came up short against Jan Blachowicz. Oh man, he's getting knocked out in his last two fights. Let's see what the line's at.
Those are the
But
top dudes though. So,
yeah, that's true. And then
but
Magomed's
this
got a
guy's
really
top
good record.
too. Though.
Yeah, he's probably the number one contender. He should be. I mean, fought Johnny Walker.
Dude, I fucking hate Johnny.
Dude, Johnny Walker, man, that dude is like he'll get knocked out 3 times in a row and come back and randomly get a crazy knockout. And then the UFC's like, all right, fine. You get 2 more fights.
Yo,
Gets
you see him get knocked out by that 19-year-old little dude.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, dude. That's probably the moment he lost his chin, honestly. um, but yeah. So Magomed, I think if he gets a good finish, he'll be for sure a number 1 contender. I think regardless if he wins, he'll be fighting for the title next. Um, but again, it's like people are complaining that he's not fighting for the title, but it's like who's he beat? You know, had a draw with Jan. He fought Walker. Not doesn't mean anything. He fought Smith. Doesn't really mean anything.
He's
Thiago doesn't
fighting
mean
once a year, so
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? That's kind of inactive, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely as of lately, he hasn't really fought. So it's like, man, he's got to be a little bit more active. And I think the UFC understands like if this guy wins the title, we're gonna see him like once every 7, 8 months. It's like that's not what they want in a champion, unfortunately for him. So yeah, he's gonna
Yeah, it
have to
makes
put up a good fight here if he really wants that title, and he's gonna have to fight as soon as they offer him the title shot. Because if he says no, he'll probably get skipped twice in a row again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I think so. The way I see this fight is Rakic comes out blasting, has a good first round because Magomed he doesn't start super slow, but he starts pretty defensive, pretty safe and sound. But I think once they settle into the fight, I think Magomed probably knocks him out with like a head kick or something.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah,
He's a
either
Zambo
that.
guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's got he's got really good striking, but when he gets tough, he likes to go for takedowns and clinches and stuff. So I could see that happening as well. If Alexander comes out too hot, I could see Magomed probably clinching him against the fence, maybe taking him down, slowing him down a little bit, and then maybe second or third round, I could see Magomed probably finishing Rakic because we've seen Rakic get hurt and finished in his last 2 fights. So should be a fun one though. All right, Whitaker versus Chimaev. What do you think about this fight?
Oh, bro, this might be. I know. I mean, I was gonna say this might take the uh light for the night, but the main event is just too good. So, but this one's gonna be up there, almost equivalent as exciting as the main event in my eyes. Dude, I'm a huge Robert Whitaker fan, and yeah, I fuck with Chimaev too, though. You think Robert or Chimaev is gonna win?
I'm a huge Robert Whitaker fan too. Um, he's super well rounded, great striking, but I want to say this is going to be a banger. But every time I'm like, oh, yes, this is a good. Like, let's look at Chimaev's record.
Yeah,
Um, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm so excited for this fight. Like, Burns and Holland and Usman. I get so hyped up. And then once the fight starts, Chimaev. Like, he'll have a good fight here and there, but a majority of the time he'll just go straight for a takedown and just make it like he'll just completely make it a turn off. Unfortunately. So like with that
yeah,
being said, I feel like this is super anticipated. It should be a banger, but I feel like as soon as that bell rings and they touch gloves, Chimaev shoots immediately, and I think he'll be successful in getting the takedown. Robert's got good takedown defense, but Chimaev, he's got kind of that relentless. Oh, if I don't get you the first time, I'm gonna keep going, and probably gets it the second or third time, and probably makes it a boring fight. But you never know. Like every now and then, Chimaev will come out with the striking. Um, he's got decent striking. It's just that it's a little bit leaky on the defensive side. He's gotten caught before against Burns. Um, and I think he can't risk that against Whitaker because if he wins this fight, he'll obviously jump up huge in the rankings and potentially be fighting for the title.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think his game plan is going to be pretty straightforward. Probably go for the takedowns and try to neutralize Robert's striking because if they go on the feet, I think Robert picks him apart pretty easily. Um,
Yeah. Robert got a
yeah,
sharp ass jab.
yep, yep. Nice head kick as well. Um,
Yeah.
very good footwork, like just all around way better on the feet. Um, so yeah, I think I'd have to go with Chimaev. Who do you got winning this fight?
Um. Oh man. His last time, Chimaev. I mean, he was going up against Usman. Usman like neutralizes his wrestling, of course. Has Chimaev ever been 5 rounds?
I don't think so. No, I don't. He's never been a main event. I don't think. Double check.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's
who
never
who were
been.
the better who were the better wrestlers that Robert fought? And I guess Yoel doesn't count because Yoel wasn't really trying to wrestle like that.
Yeah. DDP is a pretty good wrestler, but they kind of strike. We're just striking. Vittori's a good wrestler, but I think
But
I don't know if
Chimaev's on another level for sure.
yeah, I don't know if any of these guys are as good as Chimaev at wrestling. Brunson's pretty good, but that ended early. Yeah, he hasn't fought a wrestler like Chimaev, that's for sure. Which is why I think Chimaev will have pretty good success. Like I said, it's not going to be like the first, the first try, but he'll chain it together. They call it like chain wrestling, where they shoot for a takedown, don't get it, grab like an ankle or an arm, flip around them, try to do like a I don't know what the names are, but where they trying to trip or drag him down instead of like a traditional takedown, something like that.
Yeah, the chain wrestling shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what he'll do. If it gets against the cage, it's going to be tricky because I think Chimaev will probably hold on to him and grind him on the fence for a little bit. Maybe go for a trip or something. But yeah, this is a very interesting fight. I don't know entirely how it plays out. And I think it all comes down to Chimaev's game plan and how safe he wants to play it because it has the potential to be a banger. I know Rob's not going to go down easily. He's not just going to give in to that wrestling. He'll probably get up quite a few times, but I think Chimaev will probably just keep going with the wrestling.
Robert's probably the best striker Cosmot has fought, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's not even
Kamzat,
close.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, Holland's up there, but that was not even close either. It was just
Nah,
first round.
yeah, nah. Robert's way better than Holland.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. It's like it could go either way, right? Yeah, like you said, Chimaev might drown Robert, and like he has to beat him up though. He just can't be like holding and humping him around.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause then he'll get tired if it's a 5 round. If Kamzat just like tries to control him on the ground and can't really do any damage, it might fuck him over in the later rounds, in the fourth and fifth. But and then Robert's good at just picking shots throughout the what are they called, the scrambles and shit like that.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know Chimaev's chin either, really, against someone like Robert.
you
'Cause
bring
Robert
up a
got
good
some decent knockouts.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But you brought up a good point with the scrambles. I think if Robert keeps it in the center of the cage, I think he will definitely scramble out of those takedowns. But I think if Hamzat backs him up to the cage, I think that's where it's going to be a little bit more tricky because Robert can't spin out with the cage against his back. Although it will help him stay up on his feet and get back up, it's also going to hurt him because he won't be able to create that distance and scramble away. So that's a good point. It's gonna be up to whether Robert can keep it in the middle and if Hamzat keeps chaining those wrestling exchanges together to get him against the fence or something.
Yeah.
Let's look at this main event.
Yeesh.
Ilya
What a good ass
Taporia.
fight.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets. This is I know this has Dana, you know, pretty excited. So we got
Yeah.
Max Holloway, who moved up to lightweight in his last fight, coming back down to featherweight to fight for the belt, which was something he's already been done. Let's
What you
look at
think
his.
about that move though? Before we get into the fight, you think that was a sound move? You think that was his best move, or because he could have probably contended for the lightweight belt? You know, he was maybe next or one fight away from that. Probably next because the spectacular fashion that he finished Gaethje in.
100%. He's right up there in title contention. I think they moved him up in the rankings as well. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, Max Holloway's ranked number 5, just under. Yeah, he's basically in the running for a title shot. So yeah, I mean,
You know, I mean, if he beat Justin though, and Justin is what 3, so if he would
yeah,
have stayed in the 155, he would have been like top 3 for sure. And you know, Armand, the way he looked against Charles, those two fought each other, and it was kind of a shitty fight to be honest. So Max had the opportunity to be next up at 155, but he chose to go down to 145.
yeah,
What you think
yeah.
about that move?
Um, Man, it's tough. I don't like the matchup. I don't like that he's going down to featherweight, cutting all that weight again, draining his body, and yeah, like slowing down that run for the title at lightweight. So it's definitely gonna stall, put on the brakes, for his lightweight run. He doesn't really have anything to prove. Fighting Ilya at featherweight, like this doesn't really do a whole lot for him. Feels like this is gonna slow down his run at lightweight because I don't know. I feel like he doesn't really have a whole lot to gain here fighting at featherweight. If he wins, good. That's great for him. He's the featherweight champion of the world, which is obviously great. But I don't know how long he can sustain in his body at featherweight. Um, so yeah, if he wins, like I don't know if he'll stick around because he'll probably want to move up to lightweight again, fight for the belt there. So it's like, what's the point in moving down? If he loses, it kind of also slows him down again because now he has to wait for the rest of the lightweight division to move forward. Like, there's all these guys ahead of him that have potential matchups like Charles Oliveira is fighting Chandler. You got Poirier waiting for a couple more fights. You got Armand fighting Islam. So, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
at the same time, I guess the division's kind of held up anyways. So maybe it is a good like in between fight. But again, what if he wins? Then it's like, shoot, what does he do now? It's because then he'll have to defend the belt, so we won't get to see him at lightweight. But I think for him at this point in his career, I think he should stay at lightweight and really fill into that weight class because he is a pretty big guy. And I've seen him in the past. He does not look too good cutting down to featherweight. And he said it himself, like he literally can't like eat anything because he's such a big guy for that division.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's just trying to get it back, you know, like symbolically speaking, as Taporia beat the guy that beat his ass, his like the wars in his whole career. Maybe it's like a way of him getting it back, you know?
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Like it's a fantastic opportunity being the champion always. It trumps everything, but I think man, it's going to be tough cuz if he wins this belt, he's probably going to have to defend it. Um unless they give him that chance at the lightweight title, which would be sick having a champion, rich champion. That's like a once in a generation for like a lot of fighters. Like it does not happen for almost it almost never happens, right? So for
Yeah.
Max Holloway, I guess that would be a huge opportunity for him to carry two belts. Um, but yeah, he's risking a lot here going up against a guy like Ilya, and he doesn't want to be taking too much damage here, especially at a weight class where he's cutting a lot of weight. So he is rolling the dice here, and man, it's not gonna look good
Yeah,
because
let's get into the nice technical aspects of this fight.
for sure, for
um
sure.
all right, just overall, who do you have winning and why?
Man, it's hard to say like with because I'm so biased. I'm a huge, huge Max Holloway fan. I've been following him like his whole career almost. Um, I was a firm believer that he beat Volk twice, even though he lost all three of them technically on the scorecards. But I thought he won the first fight, and I thought he won the second fight. But the third one, he definitely lost it. I think it was one of the three he definitely lost. I don't know if it was the second or third, but
I think it might have been the third.
yeah, yeah, I think it was. Um, but technically, man, Ilya's crisp. He's got great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, and really, really pure striking, like explosive hands, good boxing. Um, he's kind of got that striking where it's like he knows he's that good that he doesn't have to. He's so fast and powerful. He doesn't have to focus too much on being defensive, which means like he can really step on his punches, like really put everything in them. And you saw that against Volk. Like he had Volk against the cage, and he was just extending his punches all the way through with maximum power, which is not something you'll see from Max. Like Max is a more um, Muhammad Ali esque fighter where he'll fight light on the feet and try to touch you up, and we'll make sure he's moving his head, he's in and out, stuff like that. But I think Ilya's really confident because he hasn't been tested too many times. I've seen him get hurt in the past, which is what I was saying. Like he'll really commit to his punches, so I think he can be hurt. But it's like when you're fighting him, um, you really can't hang out with him because he'll probably put you to sleep. You know what I mean? So
And dude, Ilya is probably the best exchanger in the UFC, probably. You know,
yeah,
he has the
yeah,
crispiest inside combinations. If you're exchanging with him, you're kind of fucked. You don't want to be
yeah,
exchanging with him.
100%. And
But
that's
how?
yeah.
But
No, no, you're good. You're good.
I was about to say, if Max Holloway were to win, how would you see that happening exactly, round by round? Kind of give a summarization of that.
Man, I think it's got to go 5 rounds. I don't think Max can commit to his punches like he did against Gaethje. He's not really known for being a knockout artist with like that one punch. He's more of a drown you with combination after combination and make you quit type of fighter. So I think he's got to test Ilya and drag him to that fourth and fifth round and really just he's got to stick to him and be true to himself and just circle around, bop, 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 move, piece him up, and then really start to frustrate him and go into the fourth and fifth where he'll shine. I think in the fourth and fifth round he'll have a clear advantage because his conditioning is probably one of the best in the game. His fighter IQ is really good. He's been 5 rounds several times, which is something that Ilya's never done before. In the UFC, I don't know if he has in the past, but in the UFC, he's never been 5 rounds. Um,
I think against what's that, the bald dude? He was 5 rounds against him, or no?
no,
No,
I think that ended
oh, it's three.
early. Well, no, it was a 5 round fight, but he. Oh wait, you're right. He did go 5 rounds.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't remember that one that much. Oh, I
yeah. He
think.
pieced him up there.
Yeah, yeah. I think that. Yeah, yeah. You're right. So I guess he has been 5 rounds, but I mean, Emmett's not really um a grinder like Max. Emmett's more of like a one shot kind of fighter.
Yeah.
But against a guy like Max, I think 5 rounds is going to be pretty tough pace wise because I think for that fourth and fifth, Max is going to really step on the gas, and I think so. So if I'm Ilya, I'm trying to hurt him early and really win those early rounds, one through three, hurt Max, and really force Max to be fighting a catch up fight. Right, I don't think he wants to let Max get ahead too early in the fight. I think he wants Max trying to catch up because I think that makes it a totally different fight where Max has to actually take risk and really expose himself in the striking. So, man, it's tough because I know Ilya's very well rounded and he could easily probably make this an MMA fight versus a striking fight. Because if it's a straight striking fight, I think it's going to be a lot more competitive. We've seen Max, he has really good takedown defense, but when he gets taken down, we've seen it against Volk. Like he can give up those rounds pretty easily to his opponents. I think Matt or Volk took him down in all three fights, and I think those rounds were like all rounds for Volk. So how do you see this fight going?
Yeah. So you said the how Max would win. So this is how I think Ilya his I think he can win it in different fashions, but the route to like the more spectacular knockout would be him against Volk the first round, the first round and a half because Volk got knocked out in the second, in the middle of the second round essentially. Ilya was just fainting, trying to set traps. It was really he wasn't uh he wasn't using any energy whatsoever. He was just fainting and applying pressure, defending when he needed to. And Volk was the one that was active. Kind of like I feel like that's how Max is gonna be. I don't think Max is gonna be able to walk Ilya down because then he's gonna run into power shots or low leg kicks or takedown shots. So Ilya for the first 3 rounds, I would say he to take it easy, just feint a lot, say your traps, counter in between shots, because Max is gonna give him a lot of volume for him to be able to counter. If you hurt him, good. If you don't, just remain composed. And then if Max wasn't giving you a lot, then really push the pace of the next 2 rounds and try to get him out of there. That's how I would do it if I was Ilya. And I think he can do it because he's pretty composed. He
Yeah,
has good defense.
for sure. Um, I think also we've seen Max. He's like fine with being pushed against the cage, which I think actually suits Ilya a lot more. I think Ilya shines when he's got someone pushed back against the cage. Because, like I said, Ilya's very good at committing to his punches because his power. They'll have to defend, and they won't be in a position to return. So I think that's going to be huge for Ilya if he can push Max against the cage to where Max might not be able to circle out as easily. But Max has good escape routes. Like he's very good at circling around. He's got good footwork, but against the cage, it's going to be a little bit harder for him. So I think Ilya has to have that what do you call it, like not ring awareness but cage awareness to where he knows where he's got the advantage. So he'll have to find those opportunities against the cage, let his combinations go, and then maybe take a step back and let Max move. But I think if he doesn't take advantage of those opportunities, Max will circle around, and probably just try to pop shot him until like the fourth and fifth, like I said, where he'll really start to step on the gas. But like I said, I think Max actually has to be fighting ahead of Ilya's pace from the start. I don't think Max will have a successful fight if he lets Ilya control the first 3 rounds because then he'll have to play catch up and then it might get ugly.
Yeah. The
Do you think this
way
fight?
how go ahead.
Do you think this fight goes the distance?
Nah, dude. I think honestly, I think Ilya's gonna catch Max in like the third round or so, third or fourth.
Yeah, man.
I think
So
Ilya's a hell of a finisher,
yeah, I could see it. It's like it's so tough watching someone you like really like to. For me, I when
dude.
I so,
Go for it. Go for it.
oh sorry, for me like whenever I'm watching a fighter I really like I'm a fan of, it's always like I go into that fight I'm just thinking about how good they are. And then it's like always those fights that I'm least expecting to finish. So like that's what I think I could see Ilya knocking him out. But I never like whenever I watch like a fight where I'm not biased towards a fighter, I'll think about how each fighter can finish them, and I'm not that surprised when there's a finish. But it's always like those fights where I'm a huge fan of one guy, and then the finish
Yeah,
happens,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like so taken back by it. I'm like, God damn, like oh
I
no.
I feel you. And I love Max too, man. Max is cool as fuck, but god damn, dude, Ilya is so crispy. And yeah, I don't think Max is faster than him. He does have range, but sometimes Max doesn't really know how to use the range. Sometimes he kind of smothers himself, and when he smothers himself, Ilya's gonna counter him. Um, Ilya is good when you're backing up, especially with his stature. Dude, I think just stylistically, who knows? You know, Max could pull it off. You never know with Max, but I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't see it.
Yeah, I think yeah, this is Ilya's fight to win. I think as long like I said, as long as he takes advantage early, I think he'll probably win. Um, but I think Max is gonna surprise a lot of people low key. Just like the Gaethje fight, right? I really did not think Max was gonna win that fight. Um, Especially not how he won it either. Pretty dominantly, and then obviously that finish at the end. But I think low key Max is gonna come out with some special weapon that no one's gonna be prepared for. I don't know if you remember the Gaethje fight. He had that spinning back kick to the face. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
That's
he's
where
going.
Ilya has to be careful.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a secret weapon. I don't know if it's gonna be that exact kick, but it's going to be something that Ilya is not going to be ready for, and I think he will give Ilya trouble with something like that. Um, but yeah, I so overall I think Max is going to surprise a lot of people, and for me, I'm not going to be surprised to see Max win this fight. Although I do favor Ilya winning. If they
Yeah,
fought,
no, yeah,
if they fought 10 times, I'd probably favor Ilya winning. 7 or 6 of them. But I think at this point in their careers, Ilya's never been against a guy like Max, especially over 5 rounds. And Max has tons of experience, and he's really high fighter IQ, so I think he might surprise him a little bit.
yeah. That's a determining factor for Max, right? That he has that good ass experience and that he's strong as hell going into 5 rounds. And Ilya is kind of murky water when it comes to those territories. But yeah, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Max would hurt him with something up the middle, because Ilya is short. But when Ilya fought Herbert and almost got knocked out, he has that dog in him and he knows how to recover and finish the fight, from
True.
just
Yeah.
being hurt. So Ilya's dangerous till he's fucking out.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. I could see Ilya getting cut up in a little bit and getting like bruised and bloodied, but having that dog in him and probably still trying to finish that fight no matter how bad he gets hurt.
Yeah, I think Max is gonna be touching him and bruising his face, but Ilya's just he's gonna kind of bait him, a little bit.
Yeah, I could
Il-
definitely
Ilya's
see. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Ilya's shot selection is fucking crispy too. He knows how to vary it up,
Yeah,
open up the open up the targets.
yeah. I was gonna say I think I could also see Max getting a little bit creative, maybe throwing some knees or kicks in there. But I think with Ilya, he'll set his feet down and throw some shots over the top, like an overhand right or left, and I could see him catching Max when he's like turned around or off balance and probably hurting him pretty bad. If I was gonna guess how Ilya finishes him, I think it's um one of those knockouts where they're like almost not looking at him. I don't know if I'm describing that right, but there was a fight recently. The Pierre versus Khalil Roundtree. I don't remember if you do you remember when Pierre like threw a kick and was like off balance and like kind of turned around and Khalil caught him.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't know if it's
yeah.
gonna be exactly like that, but something like that where Max is like a little bit off balance or slightly out of focus where he can't see him, and Tupuria is gonna throw something over the top and catch him while he's not ready, and I think he could hurt him pretty bad if he does that.
Yeah, I could also see him knocking Max out in a crispier fashion, kind of like how Buckley knocked out Steven Wonderboy in the last
Oh
fight,
yeah,
but with
yeah,
like
against the
like
cage,
an actual setup. Yeah, 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 with a setup.
100%.
Like that as Max circles out, because Max is like really he uses his circling a lot against like when he's fighting backwards. It's
Yeah,
one of his best tools too because he's tall and rangy.
yep,
But I could see Elliot just getting under a shot as he's circling out and hitting him with just cracking him, with a
yeah,
rounded punch.
yeah. He does kind of exit a little bit high because he is a taller fighter, so I could definitely see Ilya if he can time that shot while Max is kind of up in the air right when he's kind of exiting. That could definitely be a shot that puts him down. But what do you think about Max's chin? Like, do you think it's gonna be like a one exchange knockout, or do you think it's gonna be like he has to hurt him and then like follow up and then eventually finish him?
And Max has had a history of a pretty decent chin. I have seen him like really hurt sometimes, but then I've seen him hurt against people that don't have the finishing abilities that Ilya does. So that's different. That's something that is gonna have to that is gonna be tested in this fight against Ilya for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just think back to like that Poirier fight where dude was like split open on the forehead. Poirier was just
Yeah.
lighting him up, but he never even got knocked down in that fight, which is the craziest thing. So it's like,
Yeah, Poirier has power, but not even Poirier is like a number 4 and Ilya is like a number 10 when it comes to the shot selection. Poirier, like he's good and he has heart, but god damn, he sucks. Even though people say he has pretty decent boxing, like I don't think so.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Ilya's at another level when it comes to that.
yeah. Ah man, I've never seen Max like completely violated like Ilya does to guys, so it's like hard for me to visualize him getting knocked out. So it's like I don't know. I don't know if I can see Ilya finishing him, but I know Ilya's definitely got that finishing capability. So it's gonna be interesting. Um, if he finishes him, I'll be surprised. If they fought 10 times, I'd be just as surprised if he knocked him out. That 10th time in a row. Like that's just how it is for me with Max. But it should be fun.
Yeah.
You want to go on to that Tim Zoo fight?
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was a bad one. Tim's had a bunch of hype coming. He had some good fights. He lost that Fundora fight last. Before that fight, he had a lot of hype behind him. But Fundora is known for giving like the best hell because just the style that he has and his physique.
Yeah,
But I didn't even know Tim Zoo was fighting to be honest here against this guy. I think like before, right in the co-main, I had a buddy tell me that Tim Zoo was about to fight, and then I told you guys.
yeah.
See
I
though, this
wasn't.
this is the this. Go ahead.
I wasn't. Yeah, I was just gonna say I didn't know either. But damn, right away,
Damn, he got
second
dropped
round.
right. Oh, this is the second round.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's see. The guy's definitely taller. Um, Tim Zoo.
man, he got up
Tim Zoo
really
was already
fast.
hurt though. Yeah, Tim Zoo got really hurt in the first round. He got dropped like 4 or 5 times. So this round, yeah, he was trying to go for the liver hook, but he kind of spend too much time in that position.
Yeah. He got up really fast too. I was watching this replay. I was like, why didn't he just take a knee for, catch his breath? Because
Yeah,
sometimes
especially
when
that first one.
yeah, because I mean, especially sometimes when you take your time and then get up at like 8 and then they count to 10, or even if you get up at like 9, they'll count to 10 and then give you like 2 more seconds, like step over here, step over here. But when you get up right
Yeah, yeah,
away, yeah, like when you get up right away, they start that process kind of faster, so you don't get like that extra couple of seconds.
yeah,
Damn, that knockdown looked like a knockout almost. It's like even here,
yeah,
no,
dude.
like even there, he should have just taken that extra couple seconds. See how we
Yeah, I would.
immediately started that 8,
Yeah, I would have.
9,
I would have just
right?
stayed on my knee. Yeah,
Yeah. See, like right at 9, he didn't even finish the count. He's telling him to go. But when you get up at 8 or 9, they'll count to 10, and then they'll kind of start that process. So you get maybe like an extra couple seconds, but it's
yeah,
different with every ref. But I've seen it in the past where they'll be a little bit more lenient if you get up a little bit later because they want to make sure
yeah.
you're okay.
I
Oh, he
never heard
really
of this guy
overhand right. He just oh
with a hook.
ooh
Yeah, that hook's been catching Zoo.
oh oh he's drunk. He's drunk. Oh, that was like almost to the back of the
That was just
head.
a little tap that put him down, but he was already out pretty much.
See here
That
again,
right hand.
bro. He doesn't have. He should be sitting there on the knee. Let's see how long he gets. 6, 7, 8.
Not only
Immediately starts the
not
process.
only
You see what I'm saying?
yeah, not only should he have waited longer to get down, but he should be circling right now. He should be
Yeah.
trying to like,
Mm-hmm.
he's going straight back into range.
That was to the
But
back
I
of the
mean,
head. Look at
I
this.
guess
Bang.
yeah.
Oh, that was straight back of the head. That's bad. But it's not his fault.
Yeah, that's behind there. I don't know. I guess Tim just has that dog in him. He's trying to get it back, but sometimes you
Yeah.
got to be a little smarter.
Yeah, like yeah, you're saying he should just take a step back
That
here.
hook. Yeah, that hook was catching him all the time. That was like
Mm.
Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney shit right there.
Jesus, this is only the third round. I feel like it should be like the seventh round. Oh my god. He's not on good legs. They threw in the towel. Thank God. He would have been out cold if they didn't throw that towel in. Shout out to
Yeah.
his trainer in his corner because he was drunk. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my god. He was one punch away from going out cold.
That was the third
Man.
round, huh? That he got
Yeah.
finished.
Yeah. I think it was. Man. I felt like that should have
So
been like seventh round.
so what do you think is up next for Tim Zoo after that loss?
Man, let's look at his record. I don't know. He's coming off 2 losses. Um, he had some good wins before that. Jeff Horn, Tony Harrison. I don't know. I don't really know what's next for him. That's a pretty brutal way to lose. He's gonna have to take probably 2, 3 in betweeners, easy fights. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't see him fighting for the title anytime soon because he's probably gonna run into this guy again.
Yo, can you pull up that guy's record? I want to see that guy real quick.
Yeah,
Because now I'm interested to see who that guy's gonna fight. Because I think that was like a title eliminator. I'm pretty sure.
that was technically a title defense for him because he won a vacant belt, so it's like I guess he hasn't really fought a champion, but
Oh shit, he's undefeated too, huh? 23-0.
yeah, but it's like it's light middleweight, so it's kind of like that weight class that's not that
Yeah.
like yeah, not that popular, I guess.
So he went down to 154 from light middleweight then? Or did
Um,
Tim Tszyu go up in weight? Holy cow.
it looks like this guy's been fighting at light middleweight. Tim Tszyu. Oh, I guess Tim Tszyu was light middleweight as well. I'm not too familiar with Tim Tszyu, so.
This is 154, unless they just changed the name of, because they used to be super welterweight, the 154. Unless they
Oh
just call it
yeah,
light middleweight now.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
they
know. You know
just
how boxing.
yeah. Here's the
Well,
boxing rankings.
Terrence Bud Crawford's there, so there's a few good fighters. Conor Ben, Virgil Ortiz, around, and Fundora too. Oh yeah, I think Fundora is about to fight Errol Spence right now.
Tim Tszyu is ranked number 1 at WBO. That's interesting. Erickson Lubin is up there. Errol Spence, Virgil Cheese, got Crawford, Charlo. All right,
I
so we're
forgot
gonna
about Charlo.
we're gonna see this Merchalayev guy probably fight one of the other champions. If I'm gonna guess, maybe Fundura. They might do a
The
mandatory.
winner of
Oh, they might do a mandatory Xander Zayas. I know that's a guy they're trying to push heavily.
Sanders, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see top. I think he's with Top Rank. I could see them probably guarding him, probably not letting him fight this guy. This guy is a savage.
I want to
Oh,
see Crawford
Madrimov.
fight. Yeah, I can see that too. I want to see Crawford fighting a top dog soon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Crawford probably fight. Ooh, so Fundura's got 2 belts. That's interesting. They'll probably do that. Crawford versus Fundura for the 3 belts, and maybe Crawford gets that undisputed against Murtalayev. Did they
Oh yeah,
fight?
well Fundora.
Did
What?
he fight Errol at 150? No, was that 147 where they fought for undisputed?
Crawford, yeah,
Yeah.
147,
So
and then
maybe
they
he
moved
gets
both moved up
that third undisputed. It's within
in
reach.
the
If
works.
Yeah, I mean, if he
Yeah,
fights Fundora, he's got 3 belts. And Murtalayev takes a contender in between while Crawford fights Fundura, and then they do the undisputed. So that's definitely. But I think it. I don't know if Crawford really wants to wait around that long. Who knows?
yo, what the fuck does champion and recess mean?
Yeah, I know, right? They got the even here they got the interim. Somehow somehow Crawford's an interim champion with the WBO. Like, what is this, dude? This is the problem with boxing. You've got seven
Yeah,
champ you've got 7 champions with 4 belts and one, two, three,
and then you
four
got the
different
one of them in
five.
recess.
Yeah, you've got 5 guys, 4 belts, 7 champions. How do you make that even make any sort of sense to like a casual or even like a regular boxing fan? How do you make that make sense?
Yeah,
That
well, Fundora and Errol Spence are about to fight next. So Crawford has to fight either Charlo, and then the Russian dude just fought, so he has to fight who is it? Charlo, Josh Kelly, Erickson Lubin. Oh no, not Eric. Yeah, or Erickson Lubin or a boss, whoever that is.
Yeah, and it's like man, it's like it seems like it's clear it should be Crawford versus Fundura for the 3 belts, but then the problem with that is you've got Fundura with 2 belts with 2 interims waiting to fight him, and then you've got Crawford with a belt, but also with a champion in recess he'll have to fight before. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost impossible to get all these fights to align when you've got so many different um, contenders that are or like mandatories. You know?
Yeah. And then you got like people sitting out waiting for a big money fight. And
Yeah.
then yeah, there's a lot of issues going on here.
Hmm. Not to mention you've got these fucking sanctioning bodies, like these 4 sanctioning bodies who are so greedy. Like whenever there's like a undisputed champion and there's like a for sure guy that he should be fighting, but then the sanctioning bodies don't want to wait. They want money, so they're like, nah, you've got to fight a contender now or vacate. So it's like shit. You never get to see that ultimate fight that everybody wants to see, unless somebody pays off these sanctioning bodies.
Yeah, I mean, I go off. I base my champion off the Ring Magazine belt. Whoever has the Ring Magazine, to me, that's the champion of the division. You know.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job of that. The Ring magazine, they'll usually find the biggest fight to give that to, which is definitely fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited for these UFC 308.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
uh,
early though, huh?
yeah. I gotta get into this. Look at this.
Oh, what's
WBA
up? Oh,
WBA champion, WBA champion, regular. It's like cut it out, guys. You've been doing too much.
wait, they didn't even update the championship there? The better beef.
Oh yeah, I guess they didn't. And this is another problem.
Jeez.
They can't do the rematch for Undisputed because you've got interims on both sides waiting for that mandatory fight. And I think even IBF, I think were like, nah, Better BF has to fight a mandatory. So it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like they really gotta ruin boxing. Like it's not even boxing; it's just these sanctioning bodies, man. But also, I guess promoters get in the way too.
Yeah.
But I've heard the Turkey Al is trying to make a super league like the UFC. He's trying to get rid of all this mess, which I think would be awesome.
Oh, he made that undisputed belt, right? He gave
Yeah,
better beef the that belt that said undisputed. So
yeah,
maybe that'll hold more value. I
true.
bet it has diamonds and shit, so it definitely is more valuable. But yeah.
Yeah, I bet that shit's heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's wrap this one up.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got UFC 208 coming up this weekend. Let us know in the comments who you got winning this main event and why. Um, I'm definitely excited for this fight. We'll drop a podcast with our post fight review, our reactions to it.
Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe.
Also, check us out on Instagram at P number 4P Combat Sports Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.